Hey everyone, Mango Seminole here. How we doing today? Welcome to another episode of Epic 7. Today we're going to be talking about Cermia, whether or not it's worth to pull her, how to build her, how she works in Giants, and just a general showcase. So I did pull her again, thanks to so many wonderful people that helped this out. These are her stats right now. These are not perfect stats, as I always must say, and I think that's really important not to have perfect stats. We've all seen Sledley's Cermia doing a bajillion damage, but that's not really a real life scenario. It is and it isn't in all sames. It's good to see like what they can do, but this is more of a what she's going to do for most people, I think. So I've got pretty solid boots, pretty solid ring, not a good neck. My necks are really lacking, and this is where we're gonna get a little bit of weakness from her. If I had crit damage here, or maybe even crit rate, she'd be in a much better spot. The weapon, the helm is really lacking as well. And same with the chest. The chest could use some help too, but it's just what I've got right now. I'm also using Hellcutter instead of her artifact because I was not lucky enough to pull it. I would be using her artifact though if I could. As such, as you can imagine, with an attack percent neck instead of crit damage, we only have 201% crit damage here and 4200 attack. We're also missing these two awakenings. I've got the Blazing Souls and I will be doing this basically right once I can farm those, but until then we're stuck with this. As for her skill ups here, I've only got 1 point in her second. I think this is pretty important. Getting this down to 3 turns is huge because it helps cycle your all in. The other skill ups are not too important. They're just for really big numbers, getting that 5% extra damage there and getting the 5% extra damage here. You can also go up to what I believe is 70%, maybe 75%, 10%, 5%, 24%, 75% unhealable, which is kind of cool, but I don't know if it's worth the Molagora. That said, if you do like Cermia a lot, I always recommend just throwing 1 or 2 points in skills, especially for DPS, because it only costs 1 Molagora. I honestly think that's worth it for somebody you're going to use for however long. So yeah, let's take a look at my run so far. Again, she's 58. We've been trying our best to get her going. And let's just talk about her while we're clearing. This is not a perfect run. There is a good chance this fails. We've got about a 20% chance to fail. A lot of it is Cermia's problem, but we do get to see how she works here. She's a little low HP, so she does kind of cause problems sometimes. So I'm just doing this because I like having Cermia and Lidica together. They're just super fun. And then we have Bologna in for defense break and defense break only. One of the cool parts too, getting a little bit of lag, which is not good.
This is where the real fight begins.
Maybe I should close some stuff. I've got 50,000 things in the back. I didn't think that would be a problem. So let me just close everything, and hopefully this helps the lag out. But yeah, I've been enjoying her. She does a ton of damage, and that's the problem. It's just damage. And for the current state of the game, I don't think we really need just damage. So we can see with her special here, she's going to do 7,800 with her first skill. Again, I'm sorry for the lag right now. I could stop and try to fix it, but I think that just kind of screws things up more. So I think it's really important to think for the future, and it's kind of the same with somebody like Tamarin or Iseria. She just does so much raw damage that she's going to be amazing for stuff in the future. And I don't think that really answers whether or not you should pull or not. But I definitely foresee big bosses in the future where you have to do X amount of damage in Y turns, and she's going to be bonkers for that. She's also going to be really great for speed clearing, but the problem with speed clearing right now is you kind of don't want to speed clear, especially as somebody who doesn't spend a bajillion dollars because you can't keep it up. It's better to be more efficient with XP than speed clear faster in the current state of the game, and again, unless you spend a lot of money or you don't want to play very much. So as you can see here, she's going to do some damage, but no defense break. Should crit for about 15k. Not too bad there. She does a good amount of damage. But yeah, definitely look forward to in the future. There's no way we don't get it. We'll get a big boss, and we'll send all of our dudes into it, and all that matters is how much damage you can do to kind of like a training dummy. And I feel like she's going to be extremely stellar for something like that. I can't see too much use for her in PvP right now, just because while she does an insane amount of damage, contrary to popular belief, she does not AoE cleave. So I don't see too much use for her in Arena, but I do see use for her in Guild Wars just because have that slot and you can bring them in pretty safely against a lot of Guild War teams, although I would probably rather have Lidica, to be entirely honest. I'm not sure what else to say about her. I do think she's pretty decent, but I don't think she's as stellar as a lot of the other units. So if you're really on the fence, unless she is super waifu for you, which she probably is, because look at her and look at her design and the fiery red hair, and people just love that. People love big numbers too. Like, you just saw 23,000 damage there. That was just her regular melee attack. So just to give you an idea of how much damage she's going to do, and that's without a crit damage neck. With a crit damage neck, she's going to do even more damage. So yeah, that's what a run looks like. And let's take a look at our battle results here. She did out damage Bologna, which is pretty impressive, especially on somebody like the Golem, where there's 3 targets to AoE. So that's all single target damage, way more damage than Bologna. You have to imagine Bologna only did like half that damage to the Golem. So yeah, let's go take a look at the rest of my team. If I don't take a look at them, you guys are going to yell at me, so we'll show you the rest of the team too. We've got Tamarin here. Tam is on Rod of Amaryllis. We've got Lidica on Rosa Hagarna. And we have Bologna on Bloodstone right now is my team. So yeah, overall, as for whether or not you should summon for her, it's really up to you, but just keep in mind we do have a collaboration coming soon. You have to imagine the collaboration is going to be baller, and you're going to want to spend on it. So maybe this is kind of one of those ones you kind of want to hold off on. The other thing too is the coin coming up here. I'm sure somebody's summoned it recently. Of course they haven't. Of course they haven't. Okay, so I have to actually go in here. Of course there is also the artifact. The artifact is great and all, but it's really only great on her. But that might change for the future. Right now, there's really only her. There's a couple others you could put it on, like Kitty Clarissa, but that doesn't do anything. So overall, I'm just not too happy about that 5-star. If I have her and I really love her, I'm going to go for it. But overall, the border coin can sit in the pack. The art is amazing too. This is huge for her and adds a ton of damage. So long story short, I guess I have to actually give an answer. So I'm going to say you probably shouldn't summon for this. Don't get mad at me if you actually should in the long run. But with what's coming and her not being limited and the artifact being very specialized where you kind of want them both, that's one of those risky summons and it might be safer to get something else later. The other thing is all she does is damage, which I'm not saying is a bad thing. Sometimes you just want somebody who hits like a truck. There's also a lot of replacements for that, so keep that in mind. I'm going to rate her pretty highly, actually, for her specialization, like what she's good for. If you consider her just for wanting to do damage, then she's solid. You can also see she had 23,000 unity damage when she did her attack there and combo attacked against the Golem, which is insane. And you also have to remember you can turn off her 3rd skill if you really want, and just use her as a single target heal block if that's the thing you want to do. So overall, that's about all I have to say about her. She's adorable, she's cute, her story is amazing. By the way, in the comments below, let me know what you think about the story, because GM Dominion is always asking how you guys feel about each story. So yeah, that's about it. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you have any more thoughts, did I actually talk about her gear? I didn't talk about her gear, holy crap. This is the whole reason we're here. I forgot to talk about her gear. So maybe I forgot because it's just kind of obvious. So the way to gear her, my bad. Holy, you guys are like yelling at me too. I can hear you yelling through the screen. I really think you should put as much attack percent on her as possible. She does have really high base attack. I really like attack percent boots. Obviously you need attack percent ring, and for the neck, either crit rate, crit damage, or attack all work. I think crit damage is better than crit rate is better than attack percent, but I may be wrong there. As for her sets, any offensive set works. The best is almost always rage, but those are hard to get. The next up is almost always destruction, but those are hard to get. And then you're left with attack or speed, and either of those are fine. She's got 106 to 109. I can't remember which base speed. So she's not bad with the speed set, but not too entirely good. As for her secondary set, I do like Unity or Crit Rate. Either of those work. I can't believe I forgot. That was like the whole point of the video. But I just got so excited about the Giants run. But yeah, as always, just like any other DPS, I really think her artifact should be her artifact, or maybe Hellcutter, or maybe Joker are the 3 real options. And yeah, I don't think you should be building her speedy. Like, I know you can, and if you really want to use her for, you might have to do that. But I'd rather rely on her Unity and her combination with Tamarin or Kitty Clarissa or something like that, and just front loading huge amounts of damage like that. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. As always, have a wonderful day. Bye, everybody.